very much.
Can you go get a clicker?
drum. Lewis on the drums. You've been listening to Jean-Louis on the drums, Chuck Johnson on the tenor saxophone. Everybody come to the Nash tomorrow night to hear Chuck Johnson's quartet. I'll be there. T-Bone Sistrunk on the bass. And the magnificent Chris Pena on the piano. My name's Dimitri, and that's a flugelhorn. Thank you. Thank you very much. Everybody drive safely. Thank you.
do that. I can take in my big voice, but I surely can't do that. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for being here. Excited for spring 2017 semester. Whoa, how about that? Welcome back, yes. I'm Tilly Chavez. I'm the interim vice president of learning here, and it's a great opportunity. This way I could get around to every table to say Happy New Year and welcome back. I was having trouble getting around, so I asked if I could jump in. Summer, welcome back. I know everybody knows I usually have to do an individual, so this way I got the whole room. I'm so excited. You asked for my help, Dr. Olson. So anyways, we're going to get started with our convocation, and my job is to keep us on schedule. You can see the agenda right in front of you. We're going to go through this as free-flowing as possible. So we're going to get started off with our president, Dr. Olson.
Thanks, Tilly. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to 2017. It's really, really hard to believe. This morning when I woke up, what I thought about was South Mountain Community College was established in 1979. We didn't offer classes until the following year, but that leads me to a need. So I'm going to start with a call of action. There's going to be another call of action at the end of the meeting today. But the call of action is I would like 3 to 5 people who have been here for a very, very long time, possibly from the very beginning, to contact Alicia to schedule a time where that small group can start talking about what are we going to do for the 40th celebration of South Mountain, because we really need to begin that. So it's 2017 right now, but 2019 will be here before we know it. So that's how I want to start out the day with you. I have some updates for you. We have been fortunate this year to be selected as a top 10 finalist for the Bellwether in 2 of the 3 categories. Last year we went for workforce development. The year before we went for academic programming. This year we are bringing forward a project called Pathway to the Pipeline for Entrepreneurial Success in Workforce Development category in the Foundations Academy, meeting students where they are in the instructional programs and services. At this time I'd like to have the faculty members that are tied to the Entrepreneurial Success and the Foundations Academy to stand. There's many of you involved in these 2 projects, so please stand. There's a few, okay, I think there's a few more of you that haven't stood because the Foundations Academy, I know, has many of you working on it. There will be a team of 4 presenting for both of these. Tilly and I will be with both of them, and then we have faculty in both of those teams creating the presentation and the binder that needs to be presented. And we will be competing on January 30th in Orlando, Florida. We will bring home for sure a top 10 trophy for both of those. So those are the top 10. These are awards given to community colleges in the nation. So it's a very major accomplishment for the organization. So kudos to all of you that make this wonderful work happen. But there's also, we could win the big prize in the category too. So that's what we're shooting for, is the big prize. So that's good news. Another outstanding accomplishment from our DECA group, Barbara Gonzalez, where are you? In October, November, late fall, she brought a team of students to the U of A, and there were 10 community colleges and universities competing, right, Barbara?
Yes, Marlon Lydell actually took them over there.
Oh, Marlon took, he drove them? Okay, you prepared them. I would guess you had a big influence on preparing them for this competition, and they actually took home the top award. Number 1. So congratulations. Thanks for driving them down there, Marlon. So this is a huge accomplishment. Great recognition for South Mountain Community College in the state as well as in the nation. And these students, I believe, are awarded a $500 scholarship to the Eller School of Business if they choose to go to the U of A. Yes. And then we had students competing in December for the venture pitch competition locally. Now this competition is funded by one of our community partners, Marisol Credit Union. And on this day, some of you might have these students in your classes, so give them a high five. Toya Phillips took the first prize with $500, and then 2 days later, so this is the group for that day, the community donor is right here, Robin from Marisol. And then these three were the judges, and the rest are our students in the competition that won. And then 2 days later, we had a Cisco competition, which is through Bruce's relationship with ASU. ASU selected South Mountain as the first community college to compete in the PODARE Cisco Innovation Challenge, and they award $10,000 a semester to students in this venture pitch. That's a lot of money. And it was hosted here last year, and then PODARE wanted to add additional community colleges in Maricopa, so this past fall, Paradise Valley was added. Paradise Valley took home the $5,000 award, and then South Mountain took home second and third for another $5,000. So those checks landed in our students' hands. Here, those checks are, so that was on December 8th, downtown campus, and we look forward to another competition this spring, and there'll be one more, I think, Bruce?
5 colleges total.
5 Maricopa colleges?
Half of Maricopa is going to participate this time. We will dominate.
So if you haven't been to either one of these events, all of you that are teaching at this college influence these students to perform on this stage. I know there's a lot of preparation done in the business program to make them successful, but all of you influence them in their development. So it's really fun to watch this. It's maybe an hour and a half in length, but I learn a lot each time I'm watching these students in actions. They have some great, great ideas. How many of you have seen our results with no Levitts? There's supposed to be copies on your table. Is there no Levitts? Are they? Okay, they didn't make it there, but we are making these 2 posters for conference rooms. Again, you need to pat yourself on the back. Our average scores on all these categories in the No Levitts survey, and we do this every 3 years as a district, our average is higher than the Maricopa average in all of the categories that you see on this page. So that's great news. Great, great news. And then the other thing is, I think we're above, Demita, we're above the national average in all 10 categories as well. So that's another shout out. We're comparing ourselves to our peers nationally. And that's because of all of you in this room. This is about the classroom as well as their environment, interacting with all of us on a day-to-day basis. We make our students feel safe. They feel that we have service excellence. You know, all these things are very, very positive. So we need to remind ourselves in those days where we're maybe down or we're complaining, why we're really here. We're here to do great work so our students graduate and have an excellent experience along the way. So thank you for allowing us to get these results. And then these were just, the final question is, would you enroll at SMCC again on the right-hand side? And we got a 5.88 on a 7-point Likert scale, so there you go. How many of you are aware of the latest strategic plan released from the district in the last 2 months? Raise your hands if you've seen the 3 buckets that the new strategic plan has written around. Not very many of you, but that's good. That's a start. Here's a handout on the table. It talks about the 3 big buckets that the strategic plan is organized around. Building a thriving community through access and student success, being a driving force for economic and workforce development. And the third one, attain recognition as an innovator among institutions of higher ed nationally. And then you can see on the second page, it gives you more details about how they are hoping to drive those changes. And our strategic plans across the district will need to be aligned to those initiatives. So we'll be working on that. I'll be working with Demita to look at ours, and then we'll be doing it across the district as a whole. So there's a lot of change. And with that, before I hand it over to Dr. Osaro, tonight, I don't know if any of you go to governing board meetings. It's not a meeting tonight, but it's where the governing board is going to elect their officers. as well as there's a policy meeting tonight and agenda review. I will be there. It's from 2 to probably 6:30, 7 o'clock tonight. So I won't be at the adjunct faculty meeting tonight. I'm sorry about that. So you might want to watch what's happening. That's gonna influence what happens at our colleges, as well as the resolution has been written. I believe the 7th edition is out there on the webpage if you want to read the resolution. And again, the new board is going to be voting on that resolution. So it's just, something that you might want to stay educated on. And I would say, just go about doing great work, and everything will be good as a result of it. I don't want you to get too stressed out about what's in the resolution or what you think might happen. You guys are going to be fine. It's going to be okay, because you're doing great work. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Osaro for an update from Student Development. Thank you, Doctor.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome back to distinguished colleagues. I hope you all had a good break. I hope your families had a relaxing and healthy break. Guy will be joining me in this presentation. I think he will probably be up first. Actually, new employees. So we have two new employees. First one is Sheena Matt. She doesn't need introduction. Everyone knows Sheena across the college. So after a competitive search, Sheena is now our newest academic advisor, even though she's been with us for a semester. First a volunteer, and then new student advisor, and now full-time employee. So we're delighted to have Sheena in our team. Ty, where's Ty? Ty Williams. Ty was a student worker at our Welcome Center and recently was hired after a competitive search as the full-time staff at the Welcome Center. Let me go on first. Luis Rivera, where's Luis? Is he here? Oh, he's back. So we have our part-time staff in the enrollment services right now providing services to our students, so he's not here. So Luis is our specialist for FAFSA in financial aid, so he'll be leading workshops and helping our students apply for financial aid so they can fund their education. Laura, I thought I saw Laura somewhere here. Stand up, please. Laura Gombayev. As a result of our default rate over the last couple of years, we've hired Laura, and Laura brings a set of expertise, and she'll be leading a lot of sessions with our students in terms of financial literacy, and we'll be working with you, the faculty, in terms of workshops for students. Before I turn it over to Guy for the enrollment update. I think the employees that I've just provided information about is a testament to the faculty and staff here at South Mountain Community College, because I believe 3 out of them were our graduates from South Mountain Community College: Ty, Sheena, and Louis. So you're doing great work. You're doing great work. As a result of your preparation of these individuals, after competitive searches, they emerge as the successful candidates. That means what you're doing in the classroom and outside of the classroom matters. So thank you for that.
Well, I would like to extend my welcome back as well. Really briefly wanted to talk about a couple of things dealing with our enrollment. And as you can see, currently our enrollment from a FTSE perspective, we're down 4.8%. Right before break, we were tracking pretty well. And then we had some systems challenges. We're still trying to kind of battle back from that over the last couple of weeks. But we still have 1 week left. We have some target goals that are out in front of us. I know from an enrollment perspective, from a FTSE perspective, or really it's a credit hour perspective, We are trying to reach an additional about 3,700 credit hours over the next week. So we've got some heavy work to do, but I think we're up to the challenge. Our staff is feverishly talking with students, enrolling in students, making phone calls, outreaches, that you'll see some of those activities over the next couple of slides. But as I won't say as a result, but in addition, one of the things that Dr. Yodaro and the executive team had asked was for Dean Demita Kalustian to help out with really being more systemic or systematic with regards to tracking our enrollments. So she's offered her assistance, she and PRD staff assistance in helping us do that. So I wanted to thank Demita for stepping forward and leading forth in a conversation with regards to a systematic approach. We spent quite a bit of time sitting down, and Demita's challenge was we're going to get out of our comfort zone. And I will tell you, it was uncomfortable. It was very uncomfortable, actually. And we all left with some pretty strong action items from the meeting, but we're moving forward with that, with those action items in place. We are working on mapping our recruitment and retention activities, and that map will also include an annual calendar of activities so that we know exactly what's going on at any given point in the academic and calendar years. Part of the discomfort that was created was we have special groups that we have students who kind of just sit out there and we just wait for them to come get enrolled. Well, part of her challenge was we need to be reaching to those students and going after them, setting up various opportunities for them to come in to get enrolled. And so the February 1st deadline is for us to create processes for our special groups. And those special groups might be honors, they may be athletics, they may be trio, those sorts of, we like to call them our boutique programs, to come in and get enrolled early so that they are not losing out on the classes as they may be coming in at the end of the enrollment period. So, and to touch on some outreach activities that we completed late into the fall, and we really wanted to thank all of those who were involved. We had the Tacos for Registration. That's something that we tied with student activities where students who were registered for classes were able to get a taco lunch. We also have had two versions, and we have, or two opportunities, and we have one left of our Student Outreach Saturday, or as I'm calling it, our SOS 3.0, which will be this Saturday. But we've had wonderful support from not just the student development, but from learning, from OENT, from faculty. I mean, it's great seeing all of us come together to reach out to our students in outreach efforts. So I really appreciate that. And you'll see another email in the next day, probably before the end of the day today, asking for volunteers for 3.0, which will be this Saturday from 9 to 1. And then I wanted to touch on Early Alert. Early Alert is an opportunity for you as faculty members to allow us in student development to help out, to reach out to students, students who may be having some challenges that are outside of the classroom, or maybe challenges that are inside the classroom that maybe some additional support might help them. We have the Early Alert in our system. Again, I will be sending these links out to you. I would really stress and recommend that you use the Early Alert system. An opportunity exists for us to reach out to students as you are reaching out to students as faculty. Another, like I say, if we have the opportunity to reach around our student or be that 360 around our student, it gives them the best opportunities for success. As an example, this past fall, we had 15 faculty members use the Early Alert system, which is the largest number over the last 3 semesters that we've had it in place. one of the things with the early alert is we want to see those students persist, and we also want to see them be retained from semester to semester. So from a persistence perspective, we're still at about a 50 to 60% persistence rate once they are identified in the early alert system. I will say many of those are students that just aren't showing up. So as you're trying to reach out to them as faculty members, we're trying to reach out, and we're all seeing the same challenges of trying to reach those students and get them pulled back in. So we continue to work on that. So, and I think we'll turn it back over.
Thank you, Guy. Just a couple of things to emphasize from Guy's presentation. We cannot overemphasize the contribution that Demeter has made towards the enrollment systematic approach. So let's give her a round of applause, please. As you've heard me talk over time, there are two aspects to enrollment. One is recruitment and one is retention. And it is far more cost-effective to retain a student than to go get a new student. And so the mapping of how we outreach to our current students through our various cohorts is vital to how we'll improve or move the needle in terms of enrollment. So thank you, Demeter. Student conduct. Much like with the early alert, we encourage early communication about student conduct issues. These are the numbers from the period that's just concluded, spring and fall. We are still finding that issues are percolating across the semester, and then they come to a crescendo around mid-semester, end semester, and that's when they come to us for the first time. And when that happens, the complexity of trying to resolve the issues heightens. And you, the faculty, staff, would have expended a lot of time ahead of all of this when we could save you that time if you let us know immediately when the issues first emerge. Even if you don't want us to process it, just make us aware of it so that by the time the issues rise up, we have documentation about what has been going on. Ralph has been doing an exceptional job in terms of assisting faculty with resolving those issues. We have the BAT team, Behavioral Assessment Team. The primaries are Public Safety, Ralph and Guy, as well as Disability Resources. If there are issues, these are not student conduct issues. These are students who need support or wraparound to help them be successful. They may be experiencing some issues, whether financially or otherwise. We can bring this team together, wrap around them, and provide the support so that it can be successful here. Title IX, that's the number of cases we saw this last time. Each Title IX case takes hours on end to try to resolve in terms of the investigation. I should also let you know we now have at least 10 investigators trained that do our investigation with a balance of male-female representation. One last thing before I hand it off to my colleague. Don't get up yet. I want to just use this opportunity to thank my division. Right now, as we're all here, there are folks back there providing services to our students, trying to make sure we continue with the enrollment. So I want to use this opportunity to say I doff my hat to all of my student development staff for all of your contribution towards student success here at South Mountain. So thank you for what you do.
Thank you, thank you. And I have to reiterate exactly what Dr. Igodaro said. One of the key aspects of my position is monitoring what Guy sends out on a daily basis. Some days I'm going, and other days I'm going, woohoo, we're down 2%. That's it. So trying to get to zero is a goal. Just break even so we don't have to hit some of those financial situations. So kudos to Student Affairs, all the collaboration that's happened. But I am also here to highlight my team. And as you know, as much work that has to be done at South Mountain, we have a very unique mix of individuals. Regardless of the division that they work in, this is the place to be. This is the place to work, and this is the place where we have quality individuals who support our students. And I can't say that enough. So anytime we add new individuals to this family, I am just so proud when I see their expertise and the level of skills and the capacity that they can bring to continue to improve us relative to that. So let me first introduce our new employees to South Mountain, and these are permanent new employees. Tim Duran, would you please stand? Oh, there you are. Tim joined our team this past semester. As you will notice across South Mountain, the caliber of certified officers that we now have in our ranks is putting us at the top of some of the other campuses. We've led the charge in terms of emergency preparedness, business continuity, but now I have to tell you, I think I have the best public safety team in the district, and Tim brings that more excellence to that. And the other thing I like about Tim, we have some common strengths. When I saw analytical, I was like, I've got an officer with analytical, that's pretty cool. Tamika Edney, please stand. Tamika is not new to South Mountain. She is not. I don't know if most of you have been around for a while. Tamika was with us before she went to the district office. So we were elated when we had the opportunity to have Tamika return to South Mountain and bring the caliber of skills she has once again to strengthen the public safety office. So again, I love these new employees. They have many of my strengths. Not that I'm anybody. Jose, is he here? Yay. This is a new gentleman who has joined our team, who has solved so many problems from the day he came in. I don't think you were wearing tennis shoes, were you, in the first day? No? But we have had major issues, His skill sets with the Medicine system, problem solving, critical issues that we've had in some of our buildings that went unresolved for years. He walked in the door and solved some of those issues. So right off the bat, we knew he was of the caliber we needed at South Mountain because our buildings are beginning to age. So now we have the expertise to keep our learning environments, our productivity areas for all of our employees comfortable. And this one's a little bit cold today, but that's not you. It's probably because we knew we'd have a lot of body heat in here. But I have to tell you, we have saved money with adding this gentleman to our ranks. So, now for the updates, I am going to turn it over to my people leaders. Margaret will go first. So Margaret, if you can head this way. Again, our OE&T division is very proactive. They work very, very hard. Most of them did not have a break this summer, so please be very appreciative of our team. And I know they're all willing and welcome to help, but we'll have Margaret up first, then second is John, and then we'll have Tim, and then Bear. So our people leaders from OE&T will speak next.
Good morning. What we're going to talk about is the access control system and your access card. We have something to celebrate. Turn to your neighbor, give them a high five, and let me tell you why after you do that. Okay, so the reason why you're giving a high five to your neighbor is that with our access control system that was launched or went live in July of 2016, last year, we have created 208 access cards for employees as of yesterday. So what that means is that our online system is working very well when you're requesting access card and or a key. So you're to be applauded, 208 cards, and if you haven't picked up your card, stop by our office and it should be ready for you. So that's the first one. The second one, Dr. Ortega has actually It's not mine. How do I get out of this?
Janice doing it.
Oh.
No, but you can do it up there. Can we do it?
Yes, the next slide.
Oh, there isn't a next slide.
Oh, okay. Well, my second slide was to introduce Police Officer Tim Duran. He was introduced in our last updates and celebration. So, Tim, if you want, can you say a word or two? And
I was give him 90 seconds. So who has a timer on their watch? Because I know. Last time I kind of kept the audience, they were holding two bench to blow to a machine. You know what I mean? There, exactly where I was from. So if anybody had a ticket from the DPS, it wasn't me. I was a sergeant. That's why I have all gray hairs. I do have 32 years law firm experience, but I'm only 41 years old. Why did everybody laugh at this? This is coloring. My petition said I'm going to color your hair to gray. I don't know why. But anyway, if you notice, our table has 2 vacant seats. It's only because I think he was here first, and then we made his table, and she was brave enough to come sit with us. We are very approachable. Okay, I know. People say, "Well, you have 2 guns and a." Well, anyway, we're very approachable. Please stop by and see us in our office. Please walk in the campus. I was 62 when I started last month. I've been wearing my shoes. I've enjoyed this campus and the welcoming and the bodies. You guys are just fantastic. I'm so glad to be here. Has it been 90 seconds?
yeah. Okay, that's it for us, John.
Okay, real quick. Just a few updates. Selena Tovar from our office took an OYO assignment in Glendale. I know, what is she thinking? So in order to, we decided since somebody stole our employee, we were going to steal theirs. We have Victor Reyes from district office who is with us for the next 6 months, and he is right now just trying to learn all about South Mountain and all our various processes. He's just joined us. He's already made headway in reducing the aging of our accounts payable, which has been a major thorn in our side, and so it's like we're so happy he's here. Okay, this spring, this March, college-wide inventory. Most of you will not be impacted because we're not looking at every desktop, laptop, electronic gizmo. We're mainly focusing on the big items, the over $5,000 items. So, but we do ask if Tony or Jeanette or one of our people comes and says, hey, I just need to get into this room, make sure this asset is there, please cooperate. Also, we are looking, as a lot of you know, district office has thrown a curveball at us in terms of the use of our course fees. We're having to make some major adjustments on how we operate going into the future. And so we will be working with the division chairs, working on plans. We're trying to get the new policies go into effect July 1st. And so we are going to try to spend down our balances and have a good plan going forward by the end of the year. Lastly, we are watching enrollment. And we are hoping and praying that Guy and his team and all of us are doing our best for enrollment, because if enrollment is down significantly, we'll have to go through the budget reduction process. Again, everybody knows that's no fun, but we've done it several years in a row. And I think we have a good process and involves input from everybody. It is a college-wide open process, and that it's something to be proud of, but again, we don't enjoy it. So with that happy word, I'm going to pass off to Tim.
It's always great following budget reductions, right? For those of you that don't know me, I'm Tim Budworth. I'm the Director of College Technology. That person in the back who is very supportive of our department is Delbert Cole. Everybody knows him. I have a quick update just about what's kind of happened and gone through over the last semester. We were able to successfully promote somebody within our department. Edward Perkins started about a year and a half ago. We had an open position as a backfill for Alan when Alan moved into a programming position. We had left that open and vacant for a while because we were kind of using Alan to do both jobs. But we were successful in getting a new person in there, promoting somebody within, going through the competitive process, and it's always great when you have the ability to move somebody up within your department. So Edward started that role about a month ago, and he's busy setting up new images and rolling out our Windows 10 migration. We have completed the first phase of that. That was a big push into some classrooms that needed to teach that technology. That next phase 2 that's getting ready to start, there's going to be some communication coming out, is going to be affecting offices. So we have a large number of computers that were ordered, and they are scheduled for office deployment on a systematic process and so forth. So that if you're going to be affected by that, you'll get some notification probably this week or early next week in regard to that. The district engaged in a collective buying process where we all agreed, all the technology departments for all the campuses agreed to switch over to a common platform, and that was the HP platform. Since that agreement, we've deployed here at the college a little over 400 of those machines already. And it's been a pretty smooth transition. We were a Dell house. We had Dell computers all throughout the campus. And we were a little bit concerned with that change, just in the sense from one manufacturer to the other. But I think all in all, it's gone pretty smooth, and the ordering process and the procurement process has been very smooth, easy, and we've saved a lot of money by being able to buy in a collective group in that regard. We continue to work with Hope Academy Readiness, getting that campus up to date, getting online over the last semester. And lastly, one of the great things I like to share is that if any of you know that Trevor in our department's been with South Mountain for a long time, he welcomed a baby girl to the family, so we're very happy with that. Turn it over to Bear.
Thank you. So the first thing I'd like to do is welcome our evening custodians who very seldom see the light of day. So Janet asked me to pick through some of our highlights that we've been working on lately. I'm going to do that about 100 miles an hour so we can get back on track, I hope. We've installed the new water-saving sprinkler systems in baseball, softball, and the soccer fields. That's in conjunction with the Chancellor's water-saving initiative. We're replacing numerous storm-damaged trees. I know they blow over and you don't see we've done anything, but we have to wait until we get a batch of them to replace them. We're doing that. We're working with civil engineers and district planning and development to work on a flood control plan. As any of you know, the PAC ticket office floods every time we get a significant rain. We've also had issues over in Buddy's area, in the administrative area over here at the student union. And we came about 3/4 of an inch away from flooding the gymnasium floor during the last monsoon. So we're working to fix that. The fire alarm reporting system is district-wide. All of the fire alarms now will report to central dispatch. We're doing that. David's controlling the contractors on that. You've probably seen them around campus, irritating you, opening up your ceiling, leaving mess on the floor. When they're all done, though, it'll be a better deal for everybody. Since this campus was built, the cooling towers that evaporate water into the air, we've been paying sewer for that water that evaporates into the air. We finally got meters installed on the makeup water, as it's called, and Jason and Joe have been reading the meters monthly, so now we have a track record I can turn into the city of Phoenix, and we won't be paying sewer on the water that's evaporating into the air anymore. Joe and Jason have worked on are working on a preventative maintenance program that's long been absent. The other thing they're doing is more efficient scheduling.
The central plant is probably the single largest user of energy on this campus. The plant used to run almost all day, all year. Joe has it set now to where the plant doesn't come on until about noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we're saving tons of energy. And it was just wasted energy before. So Joe's really done a good job, and Jason too. So we appreciate what they're doing. Facilities is partnered with the STEMS Club, which is Science, Technology, Engineering, Math, and Sustainability. And they are doing a demonstration composting project, and they're using the greenhouse to propagate flowers. So the flowers that you see around campus now that we put out for seasonal color, those will now be coming from the students, from the STEMS Club. So we're finally... I'm really proud of these guys. They're a great group of students to work with, and it's been a lot of fun. We're planning for the second phase, and any of you that have been here for a while know that we did the first phase of the campus lighting safety project. We did the emergency egress lighting first. That was phase 1. Now we're expanding that out a little bit, and we're moving into phase 2. So we'll get farther out towards the parking lots and so forth. That you'll start to see immediate improvements in that probably within the next month. And there's been a lot of questions on what's happening with the SES, SS, and SU remodel project. A lot of misinformation out there. What's happening right now is that we were told that the project scope was larger than the chancellor and the board wanted to see. So a group of us, Dr. Olson, Janet, myself, Tim, and others, are working with each other and facilities planning and development and the upper administration at the district to reduce that scope slightly, and then we're going to hopefully present that to the reduced scope to the board so we can move that project forward, and it may be a phased project. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Bear. We have a special surprise today, and we're going to come back to the Learning Division because we have some students that are, we're going to have Dr. Travis May come up and help us with the Student Success Panel. And since the students are already here, I don't want to delay them any longer, so we're going to move to that and come back later to Learning. Dr. Travis May.
Students, if you wouldn't mind coming to the table here, wherever you are. How are we doing this morning? All right, some of you had coffee. That's good. Welcome, welcome. So we have, is it Laura?
Yes, sir.
Laura Dominguez and Rocky Zapata. Thank you. Welcome them, please. I'm your moderator, Travis May, and back in the mid-90s, I was a student here as well. And I was a student here, and I also was a work-study student. And I remember when I was walking around campus, there was this distinguished older gentleman. He had white hair, a white beard, and he walked around with a pipe. This is when you can smoke on campus. So he was walking around with this pipe. He'd always come around with me and just ask me how I was doing. And often he would stop by, and because I worked in the media department back then, and he'd see me on campus, he would just talk to me. And I was always thinking, who's this old guy keeps talking to me? And so my last semester here, before I moved on to university, I kind of got the nerve to just ask him who he was and why he kept talking to me. So I go up to him, I said, excuse me, but who are you? And why do you always try to have these conversations? And for those of you who've been around for a long time, you know Dr. Ken Roberts. He was our vice president of administration back then. And he told me that he always wanted to stay grounded in students. He always valued our opinions and what we said and our experiences. So that's why he always asked me about my studies. And I wasn't the only student he did that to. He did that to many other students. And so I think here for us at South, we're all pieces of a larger puzzle. And I think it's good to always ground ourselves of why we do what we do. Not just being in education, but why we're here at South. And so that's why we have a panel of students to really, so that we can hear them kind of ground us of why we do what we do. And so with that, I have several questions here somewhere. And you have some of the questions as well. So what is, in essence of time, a couple ground rules. I know it's scheduled for 30 minutes. I'm not going 30 minutes. All right, I'm going to tailor this down. We'll ask a few questions of you both, and maybe we can elaborate. And if I feel like you're going a little bit long-winded, I'll kind of just kindly wave at you. But for our audience, if you don't mind, hold the applause to the very end, and then we'll get through this, okay? So, for Laura, we'll start with you. And if you don't mind kind of giving us your background, a little bit about your studies, your degrees, things like that, please.
Is this on?
Yes, it is
All
on.
right, cool. So, hello, everyone. My name is Laura. I'm currently in school because I want to major in business management. I'm thinking about dance being my minor. My background, I came from Chihuahua, from Mexico. My parents brought me when I was 2. I never thought I was going to be able to come to college because I didn't have papers. But fortunately, my parents were able to get that for me, and I'm lucky enough to be here today.
Thank you. Very good. Rocky?
My name is Rocky. I'm studying for medical radiology, and I'm doing my prerequisites here, and I'm going to move on to another college where medical is available. My background, I also came from Mexico, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do this either, but I saw my son going on to college, and I started going to college too.
Good. Thank you. Please, please, please. You know, we tell our students to follow instruction. It's, please be role models, okay? All right. Laura, do you have a mentor or a faculty member here on campus that actually helped you with your success here at South?
Yes, I do, and he's actually here. His name is Buddy Cheeks. He's one of the best. He's helped me so much. He has advised me. I tell him all of my problems, and he's always there for me. Thank you, Buddy.
Who's hiding out in the back there, buddy? Yeah. Cool. Rocky, anyone, any mentor or faculty member that helped you?
Yeah, my math teacher, Maureen Smith, she's the one that's helped me, and she's helped me a lot through all my classes, not just math. She's helped me stay in there, and I kind of wanted to stop math for a while, for like a semester, but she told me to keep going because it's a lot easier if you keep going through math instead of stopping.
A lot easier with math. Okay, good. Good. How did SMCC help you succeed, Laura?
Well, it feels like home. I moved to North High School for a year, and I came back, and I was so anxious to feel back home. And everyone's so nice here. I feel like that has helped me be more, like, make myself feel more comfortable and be more out there and join clubs, work here, talk to everyone. So thank you.
Very good. Rocky, same question. How did
It's a lot different here because they help you a lot more. I came from Glendale community, and over there they don't give you as much attention as they do here. And here they give you, like, when you ask a question or you need help with something, they help you out a lot faster than they do over there. Over there they'll pass you around to other people. And here they actually stick with you.
Oh, good. Very good. All right. Is anything, what do you think of the environment at South Mountain? How's that have helped you succeed as well, as far as the campus, the experience? Anything that really stood out about your experiences here?
Well, anything that stood out was just the support and that everybody does care about you and they will just pass you around, like he said. So I feel like they care about me and that they love me, and I can just go to anyone. Thank you.
Very good. Rocky?
I feel like the interaction with the staff and stuff, like when they have all these things that they have out there, like the taco thing and all the little things that they have out there, helps the students communicate with everybody.
Good. Very good. Laura, what is next for you? What are your next goals, or what do you want to accomplish here in your future?
In my future, I'm planning to go to NAU. Yes, thank you. That's my dream school. And I have multiple of staff members here that have encouraged me to keep my dream up and going. And I have talked to Ms. Scott, and she is a great person. If anyone wants to talk, she is the one to go to. She has inspired me as well to keep myself going and has told me more about NAU. Thank you.
Very good. Rocky?
My next step is I'm trying to get into the medical field, and medical radiology is probably like one of the easiest things to get into, and I think I'm going to be able to extend myself from there.
Good. And then we'll finish with this last question. Who has inspired you in your life to be who you are, to be where you be, things like that?
My mother has inspired me in my life. She's always been there for me, and she has taught me that life has different, ways. Some people get it easy, some people get it hard, and if you get it hard, you have to keep going. She has completely inspired me to come to college. She's always been on my back.
Very good. Very good. Rocky?
Well, my wife, she's the one that started going to school first, and then she drugged me into school. So,
and now you're on a panel. Good job.
I didn't want to come back to school, but my son and her, she showed me how easy it was to transition back into school after so many years not coming back, not being in school.
Very good. Let's give him a round of applause. Very good. Thank you. Oh, before you two leave, care packages. There's one for you. Yes. Thank you, Laura. Good job. Rocky, great job. Thank you. All right. Yeah.
Round of applause for all those. Thank you. And then I'd also like to thank faculty and staff that nominated the students today and others. There were many more that were, but we had to try to break it down to a little bit smaller amount for today. So we're really not going to take a break, but we are going to gather for the big picture. And we're going to go right out here. We want to have a campus picture. So what my job is to make sure is that you don't go back that back door. Yes, thank you, Bear. Block the door, put the officers there. We're going to go to the side door. So first we're going to go ahead and get a big picture done with all of us, right? And then we'll see you back in just a few minutes after that because we have to come back, lots to cover. Thank you.
That was John Lewis on the drums. And how about that Chris Pena? What a great composer Harold
We're going to go ahead and turn this on. We're going to go ahead and get started back with the remainder of our convocation. If you could go ahead and find your seats again, we're going to go ahead and get started with the convocation here really quickly. What we're going to talk about now is a new system that the district has offered to the colleges or brought forth to the colleges. It's called Customer Relations Management. It's a tool used currently for tracking the communication through our recruitment efforts and outreach efforts. But as we go through the presentation, or as Jesus goes through the presentation, if you can just kind of watch and think about opportunities for using the CRM, as it's called, for the work that you do. Many of you may be responsible for different programs and recruitment into programs. This may be a tool that you could potentially use to track communications as you're increasing the numbers of students in your programs. So let me go ahead and get out of the way. I want to introduce to you Jesus Chaidez. Jesus is a member of the district team responsible for the implementation of the CRM, and we want to, as a college, want to thank Jesus for coming not only today, but the various opportunities that he's spent with us to teach us in recruitment and outreach and our student success teams on how to use the CRM. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Jesus.
Good morning, South Mountain Community College. Good morning. Happy New Year's to you. My name is Jesus Chaidez. I am your District Director for Enrollment Management. And I'm excited to be here this morning because anytime a college invites me to come talk about the CRM tool, the tool, right? It's a tool. We have many tools in this system that can provide us with many, many opportunities and moments to really kind of redefine what we'll know. Before you redefine, you have to review the student experience. You have to see what's working well, where there might be some hiccups, some glitches, some missed opportunities, and then you work together as an institution to maybe redefine the experience. How is it that as an employee, or how is it that as an institution, right, employees out to interact and engage with students to promote enrollment, to move them through the enrollment funnel, from inquiries to admissions to enrollment, persistence, completion, etc. The tool can facilitate a lot of that tracking for us. The tool can automate a lot of communication for us. In the time that I have, I think I have about 10 minutes. Okay, there's going to be a lot of information that I'm going to highlight for you. And as Dean Goodman say, think about an opportunity of a role that you can complement to support opportunities within the tool that can promote enrollment at South Mountain Community College. I'm going to throw statistics, data, some information in terms of student communication. The system went live, the CRM Microsoft Dynamics tool went live September 26, 2016. We brought in a lot of records from our student information system. As we talk about the front door student experience, we assign students a variety of tasks to complete before they're able to register for classes. They have to create an account to our system. Then they have to use that information, log in, and apply for admissions. And then we have them validate their identity, driver license, state ID, right? And then we have them complete some assigned items based on the student intent. Are you new to college? Are you degree seeking? Yes. Go take the placement test. Go get advisement, right? Go seek advisement. And then register for classes. Oh, and along the way, attend new student orientation, right? So there's a series of tasks that we assign students to complete based on their intent, their desired goals, etc. The tool can facilitate that for us and track those efforts. So let's talk about South Mountain Community College specific data and students within your pipeline. If you're a staff member in the front door area, from recruitment to admissions, advisement, all of you can have a role to complement the interventions that you wish to put in place within this tracking tool. If you're a faculty member in the room, wow, when students fill out an admissions application, we collect a lot of information. We collect a lot of information, right? From personal contact information, Jesus, email address, phone number, mailing address. Okay, I can reach Jesus in any of those modes, right? Intent, associates in business. More specifically, accounting. My end goal is to transfer, enter workforce. We ask a lot of questions on the admissions application, right? And so from a faculty perspective or academic perspective, what are some opportunities that you can consider at the point of when students knock on the door, enter, for the purposes of connecting and reaching out, right? To create that type of experience at the front door. So here's what the tool looks like. And I was trying to create a view and a font size here that could project, but it's simple. There's a lot of data in here, right? And it's all student information. So when we talk about South Mountain Community College, the way we set up the tool was really centered around facilitating the life cycle that we as a system, as Maricopa, have put in place. In this first release, we've been able to consider tracking records that come in at the point of inquiry. When Christopher, Warren, and Adrian are out at the high schools or in community events, or your outreach teams are out, right, recruiting students, they have students fill out a contact card. We call those inquiries. On your website, you've just loaded, over the last couple of weeks or so, a new South Mountain Community College request information form. So on your South Mountain Community College homepage, if a student is surfing the web and they want to connect with someone at South Mountain Community College and request information, on the homepage, you now have this contact form that a student can complete and say, hey, I'm interested in South Mountain Community College. Please send me more information about this. I need support and guidance with that. What type of resources are available, right? So either in person, you can gather inquiries, right? Online, students can submit an inquiry, and guess what? Those now are being triggered and funneled into the CRM tool. So I'm going to show you how data gets here, right? When students start the admissions process, those processes that I walked you through earlier, account creation, admissions, etc., those are being triggered in what we call the Student Information System, SIS, PeopleSoft, right? When students enter or Student Information System, they typically entered at the point of what we called MEID creation. They create a user ID to be able to log in. And then when they fill out the admissions application to attend South Mountain Community College, they sit in what's called applicant status. Once they verify their identity, we push them over to admit status. Once they complete the desired to-do list items that we assign them, like placement testing and academic advisement, we move them over to matriculate status. And last but not least, when they enroll for classes, we push them to enrolled status. In this first release, those are the series of statuses that we've been able to track in the tool. So let's look at South Mountain Community College in terms of opportunities and what these numbers look like of student records sitting there that you could perhaps consider for impacting spring enrollment. It's not too late. Or plan ahead and start considering strategies for summer and fall 2017. Let's look at the number of inquiries sitting in your South Mountain Community College pipeline. We went live with the tool in September, and the South Mountain records started coming in at the point of inquiry in October. You have 568 records, South Mountain, 568 records of students sitting in what's called inquiry status. They declared interest. They're asking for information, right? And when we gather that information, you have a name, you have a status, you have the institution that the student is assigned to. We have a date and a time. We have a mailing address. We have high school, if they're currently enrolled in high school, or if they've graduated before, right? We can track the graduation date. Either it's a current high school student or a former high school student. We have the source of how the inquiry came in, recruitment event. So that must have been someone within the recruitment and outreach team from South Mountain Community College who generated that lead. We're able to track a variety of information in the tool. So then you say, okay, what do I do with this information then? What the tool has already done for you that you should know is that we've already triggered a communication on behalf of South Mountain and on behalf of Maricopa. So at every single status, we've set up the tool to trigger an instant communication at the point of entry. We've done that for you. Since we went live as a system, we've triggered over 60,000 emails already on behalf of the 10 colleges without them doing anything. We've set that up already. Think about that. Before that, as a system, no student communication was really happening that was triggered through automation. Colleges were pulling Excel reports, mail merge, and then sending out, postcards or every now and then a letter when that opportunity allowed and budgets existed, right? Now, through the use of automation, over 60,000 students since we went live across the 10 colleges are receiving communication at each of those milestones, inquiry, applicant, admit, to acknowledge that a transaction occurred, and we're providing you with some guidance and next steps and support along the way. So you have 568 students, right? We can filter by areas of interest. To the faculty that are in the room, hey, of the 568, perhaps there might be 200 that are interested in business. What does that mean? That means an opportunity for an open house event. Showcase your business offerings, right? From computer information systems to accounting to finance, you name it. What you can do here, an associate's degree, do as much as you can, transfer, you can work with that, right? You can work with that type of data for that type of opportunity. So those are inquiries, right? So those are warm leads. Let's look at students stuck in the admissions pipeline. How many students have applied that are still stuck in that status? They're in applicant status, admit, applicant status, admit, and matriculate are what we call the admissions life cycle across the Maricopa Community Colleges. They're not enrolled, they're in the admissions pipeline still. Let's take a look at how many records we have for South Mountain Community College. But I'm going to drill down very specific to say, when we talk about missed opportunities, right? Let's look at records that perhaps wanted to start in fall 2016 or are still considering maybe spring 2017, and records that came in between September 1st, 2016 and today, right? I applied to South Mountain Community Colleges after the fall term had already begun, and I wasn't able to get in for fall classes, but maybe spring 2017 is not too late. So we can filter by a variety of statuses, right? So there's 2,455 records for South Mountain Community College that are stuck in what we call the admissions pipeline, those three statuses. But more specifically, let's drill down to records that could still be influenced for spring enrollment. So we're going to look at records that were created between September, let's just say September 1st, 2016. And today. But more specifically, we're going to look at the terms. So records that were created for South Mountain Community College between September 1st, 2016 and today, we have 1,125. But let's drill down even further. Let's look at specifically students that said, I filled out my admissions application and started to go through the admissions process, but did not start at the intended term for fall 2016 nor spring 2017. So let's look at admit term. So we'll look at fall 2016. $683 students. We said 563 inquiries, 683 students stuck in the admissions pipeline at South Mountain Community College. Combine those two, we're talking 1,200 students. That's what the tool can do for you, right? It can provide you the data, the real-time data of where your student pipeline is making progress, of where they're stuck, right? But also can help you better, facilitate timely communication. Not every student is required to receive a phone call. In some cases, many of the students have been moving on their own through the communication that we put in place. So we've already, guided the students with next steps and resources and support mechanisms. When you look at a record from a staff perspective, from a faculty perspective, this is what's really neat about the tool. When you log in, this is what a record looks like. You have all the student information here, right? The demographic, the student ID number, the program plan information. But then on the right-hand side, this is the employee view. We've added service scripts. Whether you're an advisor, an admin assistant, the college president, we've added conversation starters for you to facilitate to a student within each of those statuses. When a student is in applicant status, say, congratulations and welcome to South Mountain Community College. We have received your admissions application. Your next step is to do the following things. Along the way, here are some resources. When a student is in admit status, Jesus, we've verified your identity. Your next step is to prepare, study, and schedule the placement test, right? So we've added service scripts and conversation starters for an employee to facilitate to a student. And then in here you can track, I called the student, I emailed the student, right? And so this allows you to also track the type of intervention and the mode of communication that you facilitated to the student. So I think we're good with time. Dean Goodman, how are we? All right, it's a lot of stuff. I've been out to South Mountain Community College 4 or 5 times over the last 3 months. That's my role, to come out here and help kind of facilitate some opportunities through the use of this data. And again, Jesus Chairez, if you have any questions on CRM, please follow up. Thank you.
Jesus, again, we want to thank you for coming out. As he mentioned, a lot of information about the CRM, as well as a lot of information within the CRM. Know that all of the outreach efforts that we are currently going through, we're using the CRM. So the students that he's talking about, we're reaching out to those students already. So, and we'll continue to do so. So again, SOS 3.0 this Saturday. This is a tool that you will have an opportunity to use if you volunteer with us. So, question, Tilly? Yes.
Anyone that the institution identifies to be a user, I think currently we've administered anywhere between 15 to 20 licenses for South Mountain employees. It's not simply about just giving you access, right? What is your role, right? Does the Dean of Students, who helps facilitate enrollment management, understand everyone's role within the CRM? We've been able to give out roughly 600 licenses across the system, but currently there's probably about 30 employees who are logging in actively and working leads. So we're really kind of trying to move cautiously, because it is an expense that we've accrued at the district, right? And so we want to be very intentional about who we assign access to moving forward, that you will log in, you will try and work to convert the student enrollment opportunities and so forth. because if not, they're taking up a license.
Okay. Okay. Again, thank you, Jesus. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you. And now I think after the big picture activity, we're ready to get back on track. We are going to pop back up a little bit. Let's see. We're going to go back to the Learning Division now, updates. And I guess that's me. So we'll get started with a couple of our new hires this year. And if you can help me welcome them, and if you're still here in the room, please stand if you wouldn't mind. So we're going to welcome Andrea Archer. She's in the back of the room. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea's been helping out with the Title III Grant Program Director. And in case you're wondering, where do you see her? She's actually housed at Guadalupe. Rebecca Downey. Yes, Rebecca, welcome. She's our new library assistant. Welcome, Rebecca. Where is Kyle Mitchell? Kyle Mitchell, you've seen him around. He's our new Hoop Program Coordinator. Welcome, Kyle. Oh, I have to take a moment for this one. Aaron Pepin. Aaron Pepin happens to be the admin for both Stephen and myself. Thank you. And everybody always asks me, why am I always smiling? It's because of Aaron, so thank you, Aaron. Yvonne Perez. Welcome her as our Coordinator of Recruitment Programs. Yvonne has been with South Mountain for a while. I can remember many years we've worked together, but welcome to her new role. Will Strickler. Where is Will at? Come on, Will. Thank you. That is our math, science, and engineering admin there. Carl Whitesell is our new engineering faculty. Welcome, Carl. I have to say one quick thing about Carl is that thank you, Carl, because not only did you come over to South Mountain, but I believe you brought at least 14 students with you from Mesa. So yes, thank you. And next, I'm going to turn it over to kind of a newer person that joined our team too, as you all know, but I have to brag about him every day, is Interim Dean of Innovation, Academic Innovation, Stephen Hustedy.
Thank you. So every year we have the Innovation of the Year Award put on by the district. And they ask 10 colleges to come and present one innovation idea, and they give a $2,000 award to what they think is the best to further that innovation. And the award is named after an educator from Chicago who set up endowments, and many endowments set up in his name, both at ASU and here. And it's a $2,000 award. His name is Paul M. Pear. I looked up to see if he was still alive, and actually is in memory. I couldn't find any dates of his birth or death, but he got his master's degree in 1922, so I'm assuming he's no longer with us, okay? The deadline for that is Friday, February 3rd. You submit this directly to the district on the MCLI website. There is an online application you submit, and there's about 8 areas of criteria you can read through on how they judge these things. What they will do is send me everybody from South Mountain who has applied, and we will put together a team to go through those and pick one team. And on the next slide, on February 24th, which is also a Friday, that team that we select will present to the district and compete with the other 9 colleges. Now, I went back and looked at what were our winning awards the last few years, or our representatives. We haven't won the award, at least not in a while. Last year was the microfinance partnership that we do with Marisol, giving funds, startup funds for entrepreneurs. The year before that was our tracking system in the LRC for tutors. Thank you, Alan, and others. And the year before that was the Minority Male Bridge Program. Going back to the 4th year, this was the disappointing one. We didn't have any submissions. Let's not let that happen this year. I think there are a lot of great things going on here, and we can certainly apply and see what happens. But I think we have not won in the last 5 years, so I think we're due. Okay? And that's where I'm going with this. If you have questions, feel free to see me.
Well, and I think I've almost got us back up to time, so I'm going to turn it back over to Dr. Olson for our HLC update.
I'm just going to begin this conversation, but there's people in the room that I want to doff my hat to. Hey, first time ever using that word, Osaro. Took 5 years. Anyway, don't you just love that accent he has? Okay, these are amazing people. Your names are so small, no one can see them. But they are big in terms of influence and making a difference. I want to start out by honoring Dr. Don Thacker and Dean Kalustian, our self-study coordinators. Please stand. Give them a round of applause. Please stand. They have done magnificent work challenging us and moving us, these 5 teams at the bottom, the 5 criterion that go into the report, moving us. We put together, we're meeting twice a month for the fall semester, and Don and Demita actually gave us a reprieve, so in January, we don't have to meet. We were doing so good. So all of the achievers in the room are really making a difference. I can't thank the people that serve on these 5 teams. Champion of Criterion 1 is Guy Goodman and all of his colleagues. Dr. Osaro Ighodaro. Team 2, Criterion 3 is Tilly Chavez leading the academic piece, and then Stephen Hustedy leading another academic team, and then Janet Ortega leading the one around finance, facilities, and administrative services. Again, I want to assure you that we have put together very solid teams. They're doing excellent work. I know Dawn is in the process of gathering we have writers assigned to each team, so I think she's connecting with each writer. So there's a lot of great work being done at the team level, and that's been being handed off to Dawn to put it together. So I'm not going to talk anymore about timeline because I believe those members are going to, Dawn and Demita will be giving you more information. Also, our QI project, hats off to Yvette and Camille for leading the QI project. This is about learning. It's not that the process of the QI project is to help us do something that we've never done before and then to tweak it along the way to show that we can do continuous improvement as a college. That's what HLC is moving to, a model of continuous improvement. So hang in there, keep doing great work, but again, Yvette and Camille, thank you very much. We hear from you monthly, and you're doing great work, so thank you. And then our e-learning group is being chaired by Dr. Jackie Levy and Vice President Chavez, and I know they are doing new things, holding us to a higher level of accountability. Some people are maybe not liking it, but some people are really loving it, that we're getting on top of our game with e-learning. So thank you for challenging us and moving us forward. So I'm just saying it's good news with HLC. We won't see them until 1920, but that, again, that's just a few years, 2 to 3 years away before they're doing our site visit. So with that, I'm going to turn it over first of all to the Quality Initiative team, Dr. Camille and Yvette, to talk about what's going on and where they're going to take us next.
We've got 2 minutes to tell you just that there are 3 parts to the Quality Initiative Project. Everybody remembers the whole college voted, and we decided on strategic scheduling, which has 3 components. Load allocation, we've been working hard. Kudos to faculty and administrators in the divisions who've been working hard to make this a reality. The task force is refining our process, and we're waiting for the projections for fall. Second one, strategic schedule. We did a pilot with a strategic schedule for the first part of the project, and we are moving into phase 2, which will be centered around meta majors. We're working with faculty this week, going to division meetings, and with advisors to set up great program schedules that students will be able to see and move through quickly. The online student portal, we haven't done anything. That's because we need to do the first 2 in order to get to that one. Questions? We're done. I should have said finished. I'm an English teacher.
Dr. Jackie Levy, come on up for e-learning committee. Are you bringing the whole gang? Oh, okay. I got company. I guess it's Doc and Doc. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, everybody, short and sweet, because we have been given more substantial time at the all-faculty meeting, so we just want to give you a little overview of what our committee has been doing. So I'll mention the purpose, which is essentially to get assessment as well as best practices into our distance learning classes as required by HLC and other accrediting type of guidelines that are all under HLC. Two things I'd like to mention. One is when we talk about best practices and these assessment strategies, it is for the actual online coursework. It is 100% not content specific because we don't claim to be content experts. We are talking about the actual coursework and what's being presented to the students so they're in a good learning environment and getting the best out of their online classes. And the second thing is these opportunities for training that are going to be provided are going to align with the 7 elements of our SOAR document. The SOAR document are the, I guess, expectations, we'll say, for the online instructors. SOAR is an acronym. It stands for SMCC Online Assessment Rubric.
This is what we've done so far. The tasks we have completed, we devised an e-learning plan for South Mountain, the first e-learning plan that has been developed at South Mountain for e-learning. We have an established timeline. We developed the rubric and implemented it with a pilot project. And thanks to all the volunteers, we had many of them who showed us their online class, helped us to develop a set of standards, and it was really helpful. We gathered feedback from the people who were volunteers and from others, and we revised the document. We've created a faculty resource site. We'll go into more detail of that in the all-faculty meeting. We've had to modify our timeline because of HLC. So our focus has been 100% online classes as opposed to hybrid classes, although that will be in the future. We have reviewed self-evaluations that were completed in the fall of 2016 by faculty who were currently teaching online, and I believe that every faculty member that was teaching online next semester, the total on the previous semester, has gone through this and has done a complete self-evaluation. So we are moving on.
Okay, so talking a little bit about what we are doing this semester and the focus to simplify these 6 bullets, we need to adopt some type of authentication system or verification system. What that essentially is you have an in-person class, John Smith walks in. You verify that is in fact John Smith. He's taking the exams, he's doing the coursework. When you're in an online environment, the student that's enrolled, we don't at the moment have a way to determine that the enrolled student is actually completing the coursework. So that's that verification authentication system. The other huge component that will be in a lot more detail at the all-faculty meeting has to do with all of the training modules that are being implemented. This is all going through our CTL, so thank you very much. These are aligning again with the SOAR document. And the last thing I want to mention that we're going to have a big focus on is a written, established guidelines for all the rules and the policies when it comes to online instruction. So once this entire guideline is written, before anything is finalized, it's obviously going to be vetted through all faculty and every one of the councils, all of the councils that we have here at South. And then once it's a completed document and we've gotten feedback from everybody, it'll be added as an addendum to our already existing e-learning plan. And today in the all-faculty meeting, that's right after this, we have 5 slides where we're going to go through the process. Everybody on our committee has a portion that they're going to present to you. And then afterwards, it's going to be a Q&A session where any questions you have, any comments you want to make, so that you're comfortable and you know what our process is and where we're heading in the future, starting with this semester. Thank you.
Thank you. I didn't even want any bullets or information on my slide because that's how fast I'm going to be. If you're on the assurance argument, you know it because you worked really hard all fall semester on top of all your normal duties, so thank you. I'm not going to make anyone stand up because I personally hate doing that, so just know that there are amazing champions among us in this room. And if you're not on the assurance argument, then all you need to know is that we are continuing to work hard. And if anyone comes to you or emails you and says, hey, can I get your notes from that initiative that we did in 2011? Or, hey, do you have the minutes from that meeting that we held a few years ago? Please find it and give it to them. That's the evidence that we're referring to here, and that's a requirement. We can't just say we tried this initiative or we held this meeting. We have to give HLC proof. And so that's what people are asking for. So it's not personal, it's not anything, it's just what we have to do to become reaccredited in 2019, 2020. So please help people out or help them brainstorm where evidence might exist if we're not sure what counts or what we have. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Demita, it was nice seeing you walk up here. Got to get a little shout out for Demita. I think we've done so well today that you have earned a 10-minute break, but you have to be promised to come back right at 11 o'clock. I saw someone sneak out to the restroom and look back and go, oh, I better hurry up. So 10 minutes, come back right at 11 o'clock. We'll take a quick break. Thank you. back. Thank you. Is that working? Can you hear me? Okay. I know. Well, welcome back. We're ready to continue with our program. I know it's so exciting to get back with friends and network, but we'll do that shortly when it comes up to lunchtime. So next on our agenda is we're looking for a Hope College and Career Readiness update from Kim Higginbotham. She is the instructional leader for Hope. Please welcome Kim. Thank you.
Good morning. I think it's still morning. I'm sure you guys are ready for lunch. I'm sure it's been a long morning already, but a productive one. So thank you for allowing me to take a little bit of time to come over and give you some updates on Hope College and Career Readiness Academy. I see many familiar faces in the room, so I know I've met with and spoke with a lot of you guys. For those of you that don't know, I'm Kim Higginbotham. I'm the instructional leader, the equivalent of the principal over out in the high school, just on the other side of your parking lot. So just giving you an update on some things that are going on at HCCRA. Number one, we're really excited. Our gymnasium is officially open. We're utilizing it obviously for a number of things for our students, including our lunch services run out of there, but we've also started to implement after-school open gym for our young people that are interested in particularly basketball or volleyball at this time. It also kind of brings completion to our campus. It gives us a large meeting space that can be utilized for various assemblies. I know I have meetings with representatives from your campus to see how you guys will be able to access that space as well, so we look forward to hosting events for you guys over there as well. Towards the end of last semester, being a new school, we had to adopt a new mascot. Our students all put forth different suggestions and nominations. Each one of our advisory groups came up with some nominations, and we went through a voting process, and in the end, the official mascot of Hope is now the Scorpions. So we are the Hope Scorpions over there on campus. That was decided by our student body. We are currently working on designing a logo to go with that. We're also making that a student-driven thing, something that a student on our campus can be extremely proud of. Before I move on, it's not in my bullet point, but I do want to have a little bit of celebration. At the end of last semester, we had 3 students that completed their credits with us and are officially graduated from Hope. So we're really excited about that. Just so you guys know how we're trying to bridge that partnership and to be very gracious of you here at South Mountain, they were also offered and extended an offer for a Cougar Scholarship from you guys, so hopefully they come over and they become your students, because that's one of our goal, is to seamlessly transition students to your campus, so we're really excited about that. For many of you that have heard me or Michael Gundersdorf speak, one of our foundation programs is the advisory on campus. It's small groups that students go to each and every day, actually twice a day now. We split it. Instead of being one really big long period in the morning, we have an advisory now in the morning and an advisory immediately after lunch. So the students have that check-in time with their advisor, that one-on-one caring adult on campus. We set forth some really discrete expectations for advisories. Students now have to, or will get the opportunity, we'll get the opportunity to meet one-on-one with their advisor at least once a week so they can check on their progress, whether it be in their internship, whether it be in their progress in grades. Also, students are deciding on one personal project, one personal goal that they can work on. It's called the Personal Qualities Goal. So we always set really, really high academic goals. This is what I want to get in this course. But through their advisory, each student is developing a personal qualities goal that they will put forth steps on how they're going to improve it. So for some of our students that struggle getting to school at 8 a.m., the personal quality goal is we're going to get to school on time, and these are the steps we're going to take. Maybe it is we have some students that have a little bit of issues with conflict resolution. They fire up if they have any conflict. So that could be their goal, to take steps towards alleviating that. And all of that is communicated and decided upon between the student and the advisor. We did our first round of exhibitions at the end of last semester, and it was kind of like our testing ground. What an exhibition is students make a presentation at the end of the grading period in which they demonstrate their learning in all of their courses. As we know, the first time doing stuff, it wasn't flawless, but we are totally confident that our quarter exhibitions, which are the 3rd week in March, are going to be
excellent. And if you know any students on campus, if you have any students on campus, because I do see some of those faces in here as well, you're going to be receiving an invitation to those exhibitions in March, because we're ready to open our campus to have people come and see the great things that are happening. The LTI update, we finally have figured out how to get interns on your campus, so we're really excited about that. So we have a few faculty members and staff on campus that will be having an intern coming over from Hope just in the next couple weeks. It's just a paperwork thing now, but now we know what the paperwork is. So we're ready to get that started and have our students come over and experience and help and learn from you guys here. And then lastly, if we weren't busy enough at Hope, we decided our kids need to play sports. Which I love. I mean, obviously I come from an athletic background. I played softball at ASU. I know the impact that sports can have on young people's lives. Our first sport that we are going to attempt together is we are going to start a co-ed soccer team. It's the biggest interest that we have thus far on campus, so we're working towards starting a co-ed soccer team and then going into next year, expanding that particularly into the court sports, into basketball and volleyball, obviously because of the facilities that we have, and also that has been the student interest in those three sports. So we're taking it slowly. We're going to do one sport at a time and then build it up, but we know as we go, based on our student interest, that's where we're going to implement our clubs and activities, because it's not our interest, it's theirs. So once again, thank you for giving me the opportunity. It's a brief overview of what's going on, but there is so much going on every day, so if I came tomorrow, my list would be different. But I appreciate you allowing us the opportunity to come and speak at these gatherings, and I want to truly let you guys know that we appreciate all the support that South Mountain does give Hope. And if there's any questions, I can answer them at this time. I'm so good. Thank you guys very much. All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Kim. And, oh, we already did that one. Kind of took me by surprise. And real quick, before I go on to the next one, I do want to give a quick shout out to Lori Shelton. Thank you for helping out with the paperwork for the internship. Thank you very much. We circled around several times. So, next on our agenda is Ms. Stacy Wright. She's here to talk about graduation updates.
Hi, everybody. This is just a brief update on where we are with graduation. It was agreed by the Students' Choice that graduation would be on Thursday, May 11th at 7:00 p.m., and it is at Grand Canyon University. Student government received information, the exact same information that Shared Governance had received, and as far as pricing out venues and where the venues were, and then also the capacity of the venue. The price and the venue capacity were the two most important pieces for the student government, because they wanted to make sure that they can invite as many friends and family as they could, and GCU was the most economical as well as feasible. They seat about 7,000 people. So this is the outside view of the Grand Canyon University Arena. This grassy area will be accessible to the students and their families after graduation, so they're welcome to go out there and take some pictures and stay out there for a little bit before heading home for their personal celebrations with their families. This is a view of inside. This is the setup that Glendale uses. So we're trying to follow the same footprint that Glendale uses, because they host their graduation there every year for the last few years. And then PC is also using GCU as well. I am a chair of the committee, as well as Suzanne Durgan-Bighorn and Guy Goodman. Dean Goodman we're the tri-chairs for the committee. These are all of the wonderful people that have volunteered for the committee. Some of them have been voluntold. Due to the departments that they are in and the specific areas that they're in, they're required to help us out with graduation. We are in the process of outlining specific areas of graduation that we will need help with, as far as marshals on the floor to help guide the students into their seats, as well as helping manage the timing of having the students cross the stage. those are all very important and crucial parts of making sure the graduation is a success, so you will be hearing from us. I'm also going to be working with Dean Kalustian to create a timeline that we can put on Inside South so that the college can access, you guys can just be informed. We also have minutes from the meetings that you're welcome to view, and they will be shared. So you guys, if you have questions, you're welcome to see any of the committee members as well as the tri-chairs. We'll be happy to answer any questions. And if you're so eager to be a part of the graduation committee, you will not be turned away, and we will find a job for you, I guarantee you, even if it's standing in the lobby smiling and greeting the parents and the families as they come to watch their children graduate. That is a huge role in itself. So that is all I have. Are there any questions? Well, that's fantastic. So great job.
Thank you, Stacy. So now we have a call to action. We have Mr. Ryan Centers and Sal Cook. Please come on up.
We have a slide, yeah. I'm kind of ADD. I always have to do lunges and stretch out after sitting here for a while, so it's good to loosen up. Thank you guys. My name's Ryan Centers. I'm the new psychology faculty here. I haven't had a chance to meet you. I've had an opportunity this semester to be on a committee and initiative for student success. So most of this semester, most of this morning, the thing I keep hearing as we heard the stories from students is about success and about enrollment and making sure that our students are thriving. And for me personally, this is a huge area for me in my own research in psychology, but also personally, student success has been really important for me. I have actually have a freshman student, or a freshman daughter that goes here. I know you're looking at me like, how in the world does he have an 18-year-old? She's adopted, okay, let's get my wife and I adopted our daughter when she was 16, and she was raised in foster care. She was in and out of the foster care system for the last 8 years here in South Phoenix. She bounced around from group home to foster home to foster home. She bounced around to several schools, so the amount of relationships that she had was very, very minimal. She came into our home and was really timid, scared, waiting for the other shoe to drop in her life. And I remember her senior year at Cesar Chavez High School. She had a little bit of a speech impediment, and it took her 2 months to tell my wife and I that she was being bullied in her class, where kids were making fun of her for her speech. And the teacher, who had almost 40 students in her class, instead of dealing with it, would just laugh along. And like, I'm a fighter for the underdog, so when my kid's getting in trouble, I'm ready to like throw bows, you know? So it wasn't a pretty picture at the, but I say all that to say that her confidence was pretty low, right? And she has when we were talking about, okay, what's next after school, she said, I want to go to ASU, I want to go to GCU, and my wife and I just knew in this moment that she's not emotionally prepared, she's definitely not academically prepared, and we need some more time, right? So we knew that we wanted her to come to South Mountain to attend here. So over the summer, I'm pulling up front for her to start to register for classes, and she's scared. I'm like, get out of the truck. No, aren't you gonna come up with me? No, you're gonna walk over there, the door's right there, get out of the truck. And she walks out and she stands in the breezeway, and literally I'm just standing there. I'm kind of smiling because I kind of like to watch her suffer a little bit. And she's just kind of standing there frozen, and finally after several minutes of kind of like looking around, one of the staff comes in and grabs her and works with her to get placement tests and get enrolled in college. And my wife and I are terrified that she's going to be on our home till she's 35, right? And this was her first semester here. And she enrolled in the CPD class, and I didn't know much about it, but one of the things that I'm really interested, she comes home every week and is telling us, like, we're her best friends, so she tells us everything. I'm like, in the evening, I'm trying to watch my Netflix, and she got to tell me the download of the day. It's great. But she's telling us about what she learning in CPD, about what her strengths are. She doesn't really understand it fully what it is, and telling me where the tutoring center. I'm like, where is that? I'm new, so she's explaining for me where all this is, which is great. And so for her, I'm watching as she's starting to change, and she's interested in education, and she's in Dr. Smith's education class, and my wife and I are both teachers, and we tell her something, she doesn't hear it. Like, she doesn't want nothing to do with us, Dr. Smith, and she's like, you know what Dr. Smith told me? I'm like, I told you this already. Right? And they would meet, she would just talk to Dr. Smith about, and they took my daughter to my little 5-year-old or 6-year-old to events with her, and she's just developing this confidence. And I say all that and tell you the story because what I'm watching is my daughter is no longer a scared, timid foster kid. See, because of this experience here, she's becoming into a confident and successful young woman. And I am beyond grateful to that. And when I'm on this student success initiative, it's very personal for me. Yeah, as someone that studies psychology deeply and knows what's important for success, what I also know is that I know my daughter's story is not unique for our demographics. Every student's story is different, but her story, we've heard these stories before, and she needs someone to be her anchor. We get so many new students in every semester, and they don't necessarily have an anchor. They kind of, they come and then they leave. For her, she has some anchors, and now she's this confident person. She's got a job. She's, thank the Lord. We're talking about what it means to move out when she transfers. It's a recurring theme, cleaning, don't be on my Netflix, and when you, and she has friends. I mean, these are things that are monumental for a young person, right? And it's bigger than, at GCC, yeah, they fill up that whole auditorium. Who cares? You know what we're doing? We're changing people. We're changing kids to be successful and to become productive adults, right? That's for me is what student success is. So we've started this first step of student success. We've started with CPD 150, where we know they're 2 times more likely to be successful and persevere in their academics if they do this. Now it's like, okay, what makes South Mountain is that we deeply care about our students, and we have one-on-one attention. So that's what we're hoping to do. We're hoping to initiate a student success coaches where students can have personalized experience to work with a faculty member, a staff person, a part-time employee that will love them, care for them, help them goal set. Like, okay, no, you need to go to work. It's not an option of like, and you don't just quit a job and then go find one like 3 months later. We don't do that. You know what I mean? We need to, so helping them develop their strengths. What are they passionate about? This is what we're hoping to do with our young people. And I asked Sal, a lot of you guys know him, he graduated last semester. He was in my developmental psych class last semester, and he just killed it. So, blah blah blah.
Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'd first like to say thank you to the amazing South Mountain Community College staff. Everyone is super helpful. There's no one I, can't go to and say hello or, just get insight on something new. So to that, I say thank you. So my journey here at South was interesting. When I first got enrolled, I took 17 credit hours, and I thought that would be a smart thing to do. I'm like, I can handle this. Wasn't the smartest thing to do, and then added on to that, I had the CPD 150, and I was like, what is this? Is this another class added on to my schedule? This is going to be tough. But I ended up being enrolled with Suzanne Hips here, and she helped me understand what my strengths were and understand, what my goals are and how I can move towards accomplishing those. With that said, that semester still went a little rough and rocky. I ended up getting a 2.6 that semester, but I always had someone to go to. I started making connections here at South. I started talking to whenever I felt down or bored or uninterested about classes or anything, I would go and talk to faculty, and they would give me information on how I can, do my thing and be successful. Going forward from there, after that first rough semester, going into January, I knew what my resources were and who I could talk to. I knew what my strengths were. My top 5 was restorative, context, competition, input, and harmony. Once I learned what those were, I was able to apply those different strengths into what I do on a daily basis, understanding my passion. I ended up applying those strengths to becoming an ambassador. My advisor was Melissa Carrasco. She helped out a lot. With becoming an ambassador, I got to help out a lot of students who were in similar situations to me, and trying to be a light and be guidance to younger students in that situation. Going forward from there, I started doing strengths coaching with Christine Neal, and she really helped to put down my long-term goals and see what it is that I really had to do. That connection was, I feel, crucial because I got to do things I never thought I would do in 2016. I ended up winning the national championship in jiu-jitsu. I ended up training at the #1 mixed martial arts gym in Jackson's. Ended up getting a 4.0. Just a long streak of success, and to the staff, I would like to give a lot of thanks to because I always had someone who was loving and caring. Started working in the testing center. I'm now a temp there, and I've always had like a group of moms there, always being super helpful and supportive. So I am blessed, and I am thankful for all of this. I'm going to be transferring to Arizona State's nursing program. I am done here at Maricopa. I'll be transferring with a 3.9 GPA, and I just recently got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. One more white belt. So thank you all. I appreciate every one of you.
Thank you, Sal. So if you notice in kind of the thread of his story is there's anchor points, right? Of people that continue to push him through and continue, like when you feel overwhelmed, Mama Bear is there to help you out, right? Or there's other people there to help give advice. So that's what we're trying to do. I think this is already in the DNA of South Mountain, is that we care deeply for our students and we want to support them. We're just trying to help wrap our hands around it in regards to, especially our new students. Like we talk about, okay, we need to look through that long database and get more students, and that's hard for me. But what I do know how to do, and I think all of us know how to do, is like, let's love our students and mentor them and coach them really well, that they don't want to leave and they don't need to leave because they're going to be successful and achieve their goals. So that's what we're trying to do. It's kind of just the next stage for student success. On your table, our call to action is, would you consider becoming a student success coach? And what that means is this semester we're going to be doing a 4-hour training. At some point in the semester you have lots of different options to become a student success coach, and we're asking you to be willing to coach 1 or 2 students a month or a semester, depending on what your availability is. You usually meet with a student probably about 3 times in the semester. You'll do goal setting with them, talk about purpose, talk about their strengths, what they want to do, be there when, they're not going to call on you at midnight. Turn that phone off. But you're there to kind of help be that anchor for that person, especially for our new students coming in. That's what we're asking for. We're asking for 40 of our staff and faculty to step up and do this. Because next semester, we're starting this off in fall, this fall semester, and we're hoping that 800 of our students will have a coach. Can you imagine how that would change things if they were all connected and had someone to anchor them here? So what we're going to ask as we head off to lunch, or Dr. Olson finishes us off, there's a pledge card here. We're going to be real symbolic and cheesy. If you're interested in this, you're going to write your name on the card saying, hey, I'm willing to be a success coach. And then there's a banner out back, and we're going to tape it to the banner, and then we're going to have this up as saying, hey, this is something we're committed to as a community, as an entire college. And we'll see what happens. Later this semester, Christine will get a hold of you about the next steps in a training, a 4-hour training, and we'll give you all the curriculum. Again, not a lot of prep you're going to have to do. We're going to give you the questions. And you know what? If you're not good at talking to people, guess what? There's students who are not very open to talking to other people, and you guys will be great. You just sit in a room quietly together. It'll be perfect. And one of you all are going to get my daughter, and you're going to tell her she's got till she's 21 to move out. All right? So sign up. Let's do it. Let's change some kids' lives. All right? Thank you. And you get a shirt. Also, Christine's wearing a sweet shirt. You go through the training, you get to wear a shirt. All right? Shouldn't give you the mic.
So I hope that at the end, after we offer our training, I'll see a lot of people wearing orange with me. So join us. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, we're wrapping it up, and we're right on time almost here. We're ready to go. We have some closing remarks from Dr. Olson, and then we'll try to deliberate out for lunch appropriately.
Thanks, Tilly. I'm going to be short and sweet. I think here the highlight today was hearing the various students' stories that were kind of spread throughout our morning, and I want to share. Where's Dolores? Where's Dolores in the room right now? Dolores, where are you? Hey, Dolores, have you been calling my husband lately? You know, I have to share with you. I just want to give you context. Okay. This event is 2.5 hours in length, correct? And we used to have, you know, convocations with Day of Learning. It went on and on and on. And the last day I was with my husband before he brought me to the airport, when we were driving, it was about a 2-hour drive, he started chewing about convocation at his college. And he said, I can't believe they do a full day with us, and they make us, you know, the morning is okay, but the afternoon, they make us get into groups, and they make us do stuff, and we just have to get our work done to get ready to teach classes. So I thought, oh, okay, has Dolores been calling my husband to influence him, to chatter in my ear? But I want to let you all know that Dolores has been influencing us to try to make this morning as tight as it can be, to have us review the agenda, to talk about the appropriate things, not talk about things that we've talked about 3 to 5 other times throughout the semester. So I just want to let you know that we've been listening to Dolores, but I wanted to find out from her to see if she's been chattering with my husband a little bit, because he's saying the same thing. So we've tried to honor that. So with that, I just hope you all have a great semester. I don't want to expound on anything other than to thank the volunteers that have showed up at the doorsteps of the SES this past Saturday. There were faculty, there were administrators, there were staff, there were volunteers, and there were paid employees. If you're a non-exempt employee, we pay you to show up on Saturdays. If you're an exempt employee, you're considered a volunteer. Dean Guy Goodman is accepting people to participate on Saturday. You saw the list that Jesus showed us. There's a lot of people still active in that database that can be contacted to get them enrolled. If not at the start of the semester, we have 14-week start, 12-week start, 10-week start, 8-week start classes. So they can start on time, but just a little bit at a different series. So we're looking for volunteers, so please contact Dr. Guy. And I think our vision statement came to life today as we heard the many stories from faculty, staff, and students. South Mountain Community College, how many of you can recite this vision statement? How many of you know this vision statement? Accreditation is in 2.5 years. You must memorize this vision statement. You're living it. You're living it, let me tell you. South Mountain Community College educates minds, transforms lives, touches hearts, and builds community. And the word love came through and through and through today from our student voices. So I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work you're doing, because you're making it come alive. And that's what this is all about. So have a great week. And again, SES, is first in line, so anyone that does not work in the SES building, please remain seated. Be patient. And we have double lines forming. So SES, please proceed, lead us to lunch. Thank you all. Take care.